What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Annie here. If you're new to my channel, well, this is an interesting video to jump in on, but I'm glad that you guys are here. So this is part 2 of my video that I posted last week. You guys now know that I moved to San Francisco and I'm pregnant, but pregnancy, unlike what you see on social media, has not been a walk in the park. So this is not a video to scare anyone. This is just an informative video of what's going on with me, my story time. It's definitely gonna be TMI, so just know that going into it. It's probably gonna be a longer video, so bear with it. But I hope this does allow people to have conversations in the comment section down below, because as women, we have been through it. Whether you've been pregnant or not, we all have stories in life of hard times. So this has definitely been one of those times for me where I've had to be a lot nicer on myself, especially, you guys know this is like a fitness channel for me, and I have not worked out in a month. So this video definitely is for all of us to share our stories down below, and hopefully you guys can relate to this. It may not be the same story that you've had or you've experienced, but I went through it, and now we're getting on the other side, getting a more positive mindset. So if you want to hear my story, just keep watching, and I will see you guys on the other side. All right, time for story time, and this is definitely going to be TMI, too much information. So if you don't really want to listen to this, that's fine, but here it is. So my story is basically the first 11 weeks of pregnancy, which is almost 3 months. That first trimester was pretty normal. 6 weeks, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I was pregnant. I was still working out, feeling great. And then of course, halfway through, the nausea, the vomiting, the tiredness all kicks in. And because I'm having a girl, woohoo, girl power, they say, the old wives' tale that is that you feel that nausea, that upset stomach, and kind of all of those hormonal symptoms, even more so because there's more estrogen in your body. Who knows, but it definitely was true with me. So I look at that as pretty normal. And then when I moved to San Francisco and I was staying with my mom before our apartment was ready, my husband and I were just walking around. I was definitely walking around a lot more and up and about a lot more than I had been the first 11 weeks of pregnancy. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, did I just pee myself? Because I felt like I peed myself. So I ran to the bathroom, checked, and actually I was spotting. Now this is my first time pregnant, so I obviously know you don't want to spot, you don't want to bleed, but some people do. But I was still petrified. So I called the doctor right away. And mind you, I had to get a new doctor here in the Bay Area, but I hadn't even seen this doctor yet. And it's the weekend, so all in all, my head was spinning. So when I called the doctor, they're like, we don't really know obviously what it is, but get off your feet. But if it worsens and you bleed even more, you're gonna have to go to the emergency room. And for me, I'm just like, okay, I'm getting off my feet right away because I don't want that to happen. Fast forward to that evening, we went to bed, everything was fine. I wasn't really spotting or anything. And then I woke up from a dream, and my dream was I was in the ocean, and this big wave just crashed over me. And then I picked myself up and I could breathe, and that woke me up. So weird, but I totally believe in that kind of universal stuff. So I knew something was wrong. I went to the bathroom and I was really bleeding, not just spotting, I was really bleeding. And I was like, I need to go to the emergency room. I was shaking. It was traumatizing because obviously you think and you go to the worst. Thank God my husband is such a positive person, because if I didn't have that, it would have been so bad for my mental health. So I was living with my mom, like I told you. So my mom, of course, I went to her straight away, and she was like, you need to go to the ER. And I just remember before going into the emergency room and at home, I just broke down to my mom and started crying, and my husband was right there, but I just lost it. I never had wanted something so bad in my life. I wanted this baby. So of course, when your head goes to that negative space, what's gonna happen to me and what's gonna happen to my baby, I think that was one of the most traumatic parts about the situation, was just you didn't realize how badly you want something. And I'm sure all the moms out there know what I'm talking about, or someone going through pregnancy knows. But yeah, that I think, coupled with the situation, still to this day when I talk about it or look back at it, it's still traumatizing to bring up, just because I never had been through an experience like that before that was like that. So anyways, moving on. We went to the ER. Thank gosh, no one else was there. We were the first ones in and seen right away. First thing they did was, thank God, a ultrasound tech was around the corner. So she came in and performed an ultrasound, and right away she saw the baby and she was kicking and her heartbeat was strong. My husband and I both looked at each other. We lost it. I was like just shaking and crying because you're just so happy that what you thought was the worst ended up not being it. So that was amazing. But at the same time, I was still so scared because I'm like, what is my body doing? Why am I bleeding? And they didn't know. Long story short, we left the hospital after doing lots of vital testing, and they monitored me. And also I found out there I was O negative. So if you have O negative blood, it's like 1% or 10% of people are O negative blood. But if you're pregnant, it can be even scarier because if you start to bleed and that blood mixes with the baby, your blood thinks the baby's blood is basically foreign, and your antibodies will kick in and start to try to attack it and kill the baby's blood, which sounds super scary, but they give you a shot right away. So I got that shot and that stops it from happening. So ladies out there, if you find out you're O negative, you're gonna be fine. Just make sure you get your shot. And anyways, okay, so I went home. The next day I had my first doctor's appointment with the new doctor. And at this point I am now 3 months pregnant. So out of my first trimester. When I saw my doctor, my new doctor, she was like, you know, we're gonna do a pelvic exam. Your baby, when we did the ultrasound again that day, which was the next day after going to the ER, everything was good. The heartbeat was strong. The baby was kicking. It was perfect. And of course that reassures you even more. And she was just like, I think what happened was that you had a subchorionic hemorrhage. Now, subchorionic hemorrhage usually happens during the implantation process of pregnancy. At the very, very beginning, it can almost be just like a very concentrated amount of blood cells coming together, and they just overpack on each other and they sit on the placenta or the uterus. And then some people have it there the whole time during pregnancy, which can be really scary. But she said with mine, we don't see that, but it seems like that's what happened, and it bursts, meaning all of that stuff, all that old blood that happened during the implantation process that was just sitting kind of in your uterus or on the placenta bursts, and then it sloughed off, and that's why you bled. And it scared me just because I'm like, oh my gosh, it was that bad for the future of my pregnancy. And they said no, but of course you're gonna monitor every situation because there's no definitive answer to anything, which is probably like, I'm a control freak, which I think a lot of women are. So when no one gives you a definitive answer, you're just like, what? I have to live with this. So for the last 2 weeks, I had still been spotting. And that's why I made that video previously saying, I don't really know what's gonna happen because they put me on bed rest. They just really wanted all that spotting, that old blood to go away. And then we'll reassess from there. So about 4 days ago, I stopped spotting, and it stopped being in my kind of urine at the same time. And it was always old blood, so it was always like brown. I told you this video is gonna be TMI, but I knew that was good because they always say like if it's really red blood, that's when you should be worried. But again, everyone's different. So like I hate saying these things and sharing some of these stories just because I don't want you to think, oh my God, that's happened to me. Or if it does happen to me, because it's all relatively and it's all very situational. So I'm just sharing my situation. So about 4 days ago, yeah, I stopped spotting, which I was like, oh, but still every time I go to the bathroom, I'm just like petrified. I'm gonna see something. And then I went to the doctor, so for my 2-week checkup, and everything was good. The baby's heartbeat was strong, and they were just like, you can start exercising again, but start slow. So start with walking, then intensify your walking. But me, I'm a very active person, and I am so petrified of working out. So when it comes to my arm workout videos, you guys will be getting those, but that's pretty much all you'll probably be getting for a little bit, are just arm workout videos, because that's pretty much all that I feel comfortable with doing right now. So all in all, I'm feeling a lot better with the situation, and my mental health, I think, is getting back to a more stable place, a more positive space, which is really good because having a subchorionic hemorrhage that burst is no joke during pregnancy. But if you're out there watching this and you are pregnant and you're really hard on yourself, or maybe you're not pregnant at all and you've just been like lacking your workouts and really slacking off, it's okay. Like, I have had to totally adjust my mindset for someone who's a fitness instructor and someone who literally worked out pretty much 5 to 6 days a week. I had to just go, you know what? Life sometimes gets in the way, and that's okay. Life is long. If you live it happy and healthy, just remember that you will get back on track. Things in life are temporary. So for me, it's pregnancy right now, and that's what's prohibiting me from kind of going and doing all my best work when it comes to working out. But I'm not going to be hard on myself. And maybe for you, you're in school, or maybe work's getting in the way right now, or family life, whatever it may be. Things are temporary, and you will, knowing yourself, will get back on track. So don't be too hard on yourself, because life is a gift in and of itself, so just be happy that we are here and we're smiling. And I just wanted to say, you guys, thank you so much for all your comments and your support in that last video. It meant so much to me. I was spending like hours just reading all the comments. I'd never gotten that many comments on a video, so I appreciate it. And there will be a new video, an arm workout video, which, you guys, I need to like do a 2-week challenge and do one every day for 2 weeks because I have not worked out in a month. So that'll be coming on Monday, and I am so excited to be doing those. So look out for that, and I will see you in another video. Bye, guys.